Clarence Jackson. The reward is just a peace of mind. When you know you're doing what you know you're supposed to be doing in God, when you know you're doing, um, uh, walking out your plan that God has for your life, it's just a good feeling. Then the second part of that is that, man, when you see people blessed, when you see people blessed, and I give you an example of that. Yesterday and today were prime examples. On yesterday, man, I stood in the courtroom with a young man, and I was able to stand with him, and the judge asked me a question, man, would I mentor him? And I told that judge, some 25 years ago, man, somebody mentored me. When I was standing in a courtroom just like that boy, somebody stood alongside me and mentored me. So I felt like I owed it to society, owed it to myself to step in and help somebody else like somebody had helped me. So my reward is seeing people blessed. My reward is seeing you one way one day and then seeing you another way another day, and for the better. I go back to that boy that was in court. What I told the judge, man, hey, this is absolutely ridiculous. The family that I was standing for, I'm their pastor now. I'm their pastor. But what's amazing about that story, man, is that I'm standing beside that boy. But when I was standing before the judge, that was the actual family that I had offended. They were the victims of my crime. Listen, man, they were the victims of my crime. And some 20 years later, I'm standing there representing them as the voice of reason and to mentor their son. It's absolutely amazing, man. So my greatest giving testimony is not necessarily about what I've given, but the chance that I've been given, man, by society, been given by God. And so to see me standing in the courtroom, man, facing this family because of something I had done as a stupid teen, and now representing their son who was a stupid teen, dude, you just can't beat that, man. So the greatest gift is not something that I've given. The greatest gift, man, is something that I've been given, which is grace, man. Another chance.
Man, please. What?
Pastor Rudolph Ferguson Sr.
Okay.
My drive is recognizing that I grew up in this community. And I remember what it used to look like years ago. And my drive is to restore it back to its former glory and have the young people who are part of this community now see what it used to look like before drugs and crime and violence took hold of it. My purpose, wow, that is never about money. It's never about recognition. It's never about what I get in return or the benefits. It's always given because I believe that giving back only increases the new generation that's coming up, and they have something to look forward to. My primary purpose for giving is that that the Lord will be pleased, number one, and that the community, the elderly that live in this community, they will be pleased to know that when they leave their homes, leave this world, that this community will still be around for the next 50 years. I had a young man who came to my GED program. He was on his way to prison. He was on probation, and he really didn't have the drive. But I encouraged him because he had little brothers and sisters, six in fact, that was under him. And I encouraged him to the fact that he needed to be a testimony. And within that conversation, within the next 3 weeks after that conversation, he was the first GED student from the Griffin Heights GED program to walk across the stage at TCC. So in lieu of going to prison, he's now in college at TCC in his general studies, and actually he's in his second semester right now.
Michael Cork, Michael A. Cork.
Okay.
I think the drive behind giving to the community is, first of all, recognizing the needs of the community. Once there's a need, pretty much there becomes an unction in your heart that drives you to wanting to make sure that you can do your part to make a difference. So as you see a need, you react to the need. I can definitely remember a time, and this was several years ago, going into a store, and there was a gentleman outside the store that asked me for some, spare change, and I didn't feel the unction to give him any money, without there being any signs of him having any bad habits or any addictions or anything of that nature. But what I did say, he said that he was hungry. I went into the store, and this was a gas station actually, and they actually had like lunch meats, and I bought some lunch meats, and I bought some juice for him, and I came back out and I handed it to him, and the man broke down in tears. This was a grown man that broke down in tears, and he was so thankful because he said that he didn't need money, he needed food. And so I credit God for putting that on my heart to actually do that, whereas he thought it was a no. He thought I definitely wasn't going to react to his need or react to his request. And so went in there and got him some food, and he was so thankful because it was enough food for him to take home and feed his family, and that was the reason why he was out that day, doing what he had to do as a man to try to provide for his family. So to be able to be in that position to provide something like that that really didn't hurt me at all wasn't even a major stretch for me, to be honest with you. But to see the impact of what a little thing can do for a lot of people, that's the type of thing that gives you the momentum to want to continue the lifestyle of recognizing needs and being a solution to some problems. And no, I can't solve all the problems, but I believe I do my part, and I connect with other people who have the same mindset to want to do their part to help. I believe we can definitely make a very very big impact in the world, and that's what I look forward to doing.